Yes, this is the same clip you seen last week. Welcome back to Everything from Nothing, Ireland's greatest show, according to scientists. We did not say that. Scientists did. Thanks everyone for watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify. If anyone would like to help us out by donating, you can click the Acast supporter link in the description of this episode and every episode. You can donate any amount you want, and all the donations will go back into the podcast, into the equipment, and so on and so forth. We want to do loads of things. We have loads of ideas, blah, 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 blah. We really appreciate your support. And yeah, again, the link is in the description. You can donate however amount you want, and all donations are appreciated equally. And yeah, over to the episode. Welcome back to Everything from Nothing, Ireland's most rainy podcast. It's raining outside. I don't know if hopefully it's not raining when you're watching this, and hopefully
it's not raining in your hearts.
In your hearts, yeah. That's all. At the end of the day, that's what's most important. So thanks to everyone for everyone who started to donate to our new link. We really appreciate that. It'll help us. There's a lot of equipment we want to do to start doing live events and so on. And yeah, so we really appreciate all the support. And thanks a million to everyone who's donated so far. The link is in the description.
Very good.
Very good, Hugh. The best intro. That's the best intro anyone's
fantastic
ever.
Intro. And this week we're joined by a legend. It's official.
The poster.
It's official on the Irish Voice.
Yeah.
And there is no other voice.
There is no other voice. She's on the front page and the back page of the Irish Voice, which is amazing. Which is big New York newspaper, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And
that's the Irish Voice is in New York.
It's
okay.
Thurles' own.
Okay.
Owned by Neil O'Dowd.
Thurles person.
That's like being both the A side and the B side.
And the B side of a single.
Record, yeah.
Thurles local legend, Therese Crowe. A legend to anyone who ever went out to New York from the 1960s onwards would have met Therese.
Yeah.
Jimmy Doyle, John Doyle, the whole lot.
Oh, the whole lot of them. We put them all up.
Yeah.
So how long have you just back from New York as well? We'll get how many years did you spend in New York?
59.
59, wow. Mm-hmm. That's mad.
So what year did you go out there?
1962.
And what made you go out there?
I always wanted to be a nurse since I was that height.
Right.
So I went out and I had done some nursing in Dublin at one time. And then when I went out, I went into the hospital, St. Francis Hospital in the Bronx, right in the middle of the Bronx.
Wow.
Where a friend of mine going to school, Eileen Lean, she was from the Liberty Square in Thurles.
Teddy Lean's sister.
Teddy Lean's sister, yes.
Where PJ Broderick's auctioneering shop is now.
That's exactly where it is.
Wow.
Yes.
I think Eileen has seen some of the podcast things. I think I've seen comments
really?
from Eileen. Yeah.
Thanks, Eileen.
And I went in going out to stand for her daughter, and the next thing was I was holding the baby, and a nun came in and she asked me how I was, and Eileen introduced me to somebody from Ireland, and she said, "You're holding the baby correctly."
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying to me, you're holding the baby, and I said to myself, "Oh, Mother of God, did I do something wrong now again?" And the next time she said, "You're holding it perfectly."
Yeah.
And she said, "Had you anything to do with medicine?" I said, "Yes, I'm in children's nursing." And then she said, "Would you like a job?"
God.
That's mad.
Sister Maranatha. And I said, "I'm just out here." And she said, "I'll come back and see you." So I talked to Eileen, and Eileen said, "You can stay with me."
Yeah.
And the next thing was, with that, she came back in, and you have a place upstairs. I was living in the convent with the nuns.
Wow.
So that's how I started off, and that was 1963.
So you were born locally. You're from Thurles.
Sorry?
You're from Thurles, is that
I'm
right?
from Croke Street in Thurles, yes.
Okay.
7 of you in it, isn't it?
6.
6. Ephraim, Willie.
Yeah. Well, go
One
with
Hugh. He was good at this.
William,
Yeah.
Patrick,
Yeah.
Teresa,
Yeah.
Philomena,
Yeah.
and Ephraim.
Oh, wow. And yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I said 3.
Oh, sorry. You said three. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait, so how many? 6? Did you say 6?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I counted that.
Yeah.
And you would have went to school locally and everything like
I went
that?
to school to the Presentation Convent in Thurles.
Okay.
Wow. That is
That's really cool.
And then nursing in Dublin.
Yes, just in Bray.
Gosh.
And come here, was that where you were nursing out? Were you near Gaelic Park or what when you went out there?
I was, yes, I was. I wasn't far. I was
And how
right.
did you get involved?
What's
with that?
Gaelic Park? I don't know. Okay.
Gaelic Park is like the
The
Croke
Gaelic Park
of
is,
New York.
like Croke
Okay.
Park,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over New York.
New
Yes.
York,
Okay. Yeah.
And how
Yeah.
did I get involved?
Yeah, how did you get involved in Gaelic Park? You were the mother of Gaelic Park.
Yeah, but the
basically.
thing about it was that a friend of mine took me to Gaelic Park,
Okay.
and we were going back a long way, my God.
Yeah.
And the next thing was, a man got injured. He was from Clare. His name was Chambers.
Yeah.
And he had an aunt here in the hospital, the Assumption now.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
a nun.
Yeah.
Sister Rita, she just died.
Oh.
Lord have mercy on her.
Yeah.
And the next thing was, the men went to lift him. And the way he was positioned on the floor, on the grass,
Yeah.
I let a shout from the stand,
Don't.
don't move him.
Yeah.
And then I went down and I positioned him with broken hurleys and towels and everything. So when the EMS came, the medical came, they said, who did that?
Mm.
And I was looking down at them and I thought, oh, Mother of God again.
In trouble. Yeah.
And he said, only for her.
Wow.
You'd have broken his neck.
That's mad. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was
And
Matty
you- I was-
Chambers from
And what
Clare.
did you use? You said you used Hurleys.
Sorry?
You used Hurleys
Yeah.
and towels, was it?
Pieces, there was a lot of hurleys
Yeah.
broken. And
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
Yeah,
position them.
like splints, like
You can,
in the
you
body.
can
course,
roll
yeah.
them up in towels.
That's
so-
amazing. Like
Yeah.
that's so cool that you taught
And
that.
did they ask you to come down again, or what? How did that happen then after that?
Well, then I went in to have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And John Kerry O'Donnell, who was from Kerry, that owned the park
Yeah.
and the city hall, and he turned around and to get a cup of tea. So I got a cup of tea. And the next thing was I was going out, and he said, you did a great job in there. He said, you know, we could use you here.
Yeah.
Well, I said, I don't know, if I'll be off of a Sunday, I'll come down.
Yeah.
I was going out the door.
Yeah.
He said, oh, by the way, you won't get paid.
Right.
Oh,
Fair enough.
wow. That's
So I started there,
Yeah.
and I never charged them. I was there exactly nearly 59 years.
wow.
And you every time, like, say somebody wins the All Ireland, they'd end up going out to Gaelic
Yes, they
Park
would.
and things.
And sorry,
So you-
wait. And what did you you
Volunteer, yeah.
You volunteered
I
in
was
all those years.
volunteer.
I
Yeah.
volunteered the whole time.
Oh wow.
But when you went out to the States the first time,
Yeah.
like in the early 60s,
Yeah. It was
you had gone out just to visit.
I just went
Yeah.
out to visit Eileen Lean.
And how long had you planned to stay? To
I was
visit?
ACDC. I didn't know whether I wanted to stay or not, but I loved the nursing.
Yeah.
And then I could go to school.
So what did your family think when you got offered the job and decided to stay there? Like,
Well, there was very little they could do because I was there and I was
Yeah.
going to stay.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
so that it was sort of on your mind a little bit anyway
Yes,
when you
it
went
was.
over there.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Well, sorry, go on.
No, carry on.
So you're still living in a convent with the nuns when you first went over there. What was life? How were they to live with? Were
Oh,
they-
brilliant.
Yeah.
They weren't
Brilliant.
playing loud music and having the raves or
nothing
anything like that.
no.
Yeah.
Sister
Thank God.
Therese was the head nurse there, and we
Okay.
became great friends.
Yeah.
And she said, I want you to go to school. Oh, I said I didn't like school.
Yeah.
But then I sat for the high school equivalency test.
Yeah.
And 225 was passing. I got 224.
Oh wow.
But I didn't know the system of, we had halfpenny and penny class.
Mm.
And went out there, it was first and second and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, I went and did this. I went to school up in opposite the
The Bronx.
university, and the next thing was Fordham University, and the next thing was I got 295.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Good.
The time you got the you were off by a pint. Is that what you said? You were when you,
Yeah, 225 was passing, but I got 224 and they didn't pass me.
were you happy you still got a high or so you don't pass unless you get the full mark?
No, they didn't pass
Okay,
me.
sorry,
That was
right.
here.
No,
No,
that was
over
in
there.
America.
Oh, okay. And then you repeated basically in.
Yeah, I did. I went to school. It was a high school, public high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went to school there. I didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
And that was up to Fordham University.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where they have the they have a thing like this going on every Sunday.
Lovely.
Okay.
So going over to New York at that time, was it a bit intimidating? Because you wouldn't have like seen, like now we have the internet, so I've never been to New York, but I see that the buildings are massive, and of course you'd know the news. Was it intimidating, like going to such a different place from Ireland
Of course
to
it was, yes, it
the
was.
big, like, you know, the big skyscrapers, and
But the nuns were great, and everybody
Yeah.
there couldn't be nicer.
made
And
you comfortable?
Did you go over on the boat?
Sorry?
Did you go over on the boat?
I did. Eileen took me different places, you know, so it was great.
Where'd she take you?
Sorry?
Where did you go? Like
Well, they took me down to the
Staten Island?
Statue of Liberty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
and,
I
you
know.
know,
I
we went
still
out on
love
the
going
boat
there.
and all of this
Yeah.
type of thing.
Come here, like, so every time a team won the All Ireland, they go over to Gaelic Park.
Oh,
It was a
yes,
big, massive
yes.
thing. So you had like Jimmy Doyle, John Doyle, all those came over.
Yes.
What was that like when you?
Oh, it was brilliant.
It was like the golden age of the
Yeah,
whole
it was
thing,
brilliant.
wasn't it?
Brilliant.
Yeah, you would have met them all, and it would have been. You would have known them anyway.
Yeah, oh, I know. God, I did.
Yeah.
I knew them very well.
Yeah, and a lot of the tip team would know you.
Yes,
as
they
well,
would. Yes,
like from going
yeah.
over
They
there.
came out, and they were, but all the lads know me from different counties.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it didn't matter who won. Yeah,
No.
it was, they'd know you, and you were the one that. Would, you must know some amount of people throughout the GA, do you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Well, now you have Larry McCarthy,
Yeah,
and he's a Corkman,
yeah,
and he was our last president.
yeah.
Then you had a man by the name of Jackie Salmon. He's from Galway,
Yeah.
and he was there for years and years. Well, very good man.
Was there a great social scene in the whole
Oh,
thing?
it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. You saw everybody. You didn't know them, but everybody got to know each other and help out each other all the time.
Yeah.
Like within the Irish community over there?
Yes. Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Well, it was all over the Bronx, the Irish. It was
So is that where you spent most of your time in the Bronx, even
Yes,
like in later
yes.
years and stuff? How was that when you first arrived there? Was it pretty run down and...
No, I didn't think so, no.
Okay.
No.
Sort of only later years it started to...
It
isn't
started to
Yeah.
deteriorate, yeah.
Yeah.
But then when I went back to school, I was working in a hospital, and like I said, they told me they could go back to school for LPN, which is a licensed practical nurse.
Yeah.
And I went back into the hospital for special surgery. That's totally orthopedic.
Oh, wow.
And you had, I don't know how many people, the greatest, Babe Ruth, everybody, all the jet players.
They'd all go into you.
That's mad.
Yeah, they all went to be operated in
Have you
hospital.
met him?
Were you...
I was working there, yes.
Wow. That's mad. That's really cool.
Were you a theatre nurse or did you work on the wards there?
Oh, I worked in the ward.
Yeah.
And
That's,
you
so
remember-
That's the hospital for special surgery.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to
nice.
go to, they asked me to go on and be an RN.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
You get in the degree and the whole bit. And the next thing was I tried 5 of the hospitals and it was $5,000 and I just didn't have it.
Yeah.
But then there was a black girl working with me, Barbara.
Yeah.
And she turned around and she said, you have to do 2 things in life.
Yeah.
You have to stay black and die. Well, I said, last time I looked, I said I was kind of white, Barbara. But since I'm a crow, I can fly. How's that?
Oh wow!
That's good.
So I went to joint disease and I didn't have to pay any money.
Wow.
went to
Yeah.
where?
Yeah.
She told me to go to Harlem. I didn't know what Harlem was at all. And then I went up there and they took me in and you had to stay 2 years after you qualified.
Yeah,
But you got
yeah.
paid once you
Yeah, that's all
graduated.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law, to Mercener, came over when I graduated from there and I sang the national anthem,
No way. That's
the
cool.
American national anthem.
Lovely.
So then I went on and then I went to school, the hospital, to joint disease and I had done it in the special surgery as well. So then, like I said, I got my degree in the whole bit. Wow. And then, like I said, when I was in there, everybody gave me a great send off.
Yeah. That's so. I was in a funeral home in Harlem before.
Were you?
Yeah, with my dad. Yeah, I brought him to see. We were in Harlem and I saw a funeral home. I said, "Come on, we're going to look at this."
Is it like a well-known one or just a random
I'd say it
one?
would be well known because it was
Yeah,
on the main
yeah.
Oh
stretch.
my God!
Yeah.
I mean, this 99.9.
Yeah.
And Tony Kelly, Father Tony Kelly.
Yeah.
He was right in the middle of Harlem.
Oh wow. Who is the most? Sorry, go on, please.
No, I mean he was in 125th Street and Madison Avenue.
And who is the most, throughout your life, you sound like you met some interesting people. Who would be the most interesting or famous person you'd say you met? Were you ever a bit starstruck?
I don't think you'd get starstruck, would you?
I had Frank Sinatra's uncle,
Had you?
Wow, that's mad.
That's really cool.
Was that in the hospital?
and he lived what?
Was it in the hospital?
Oh yes.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a really cool one. That's mad. I wasn't expecting that. That's cool.
Working in hospitals, like working in medical care, really takes a lot out of you. Like it can be hard work, and when you get your days off, they can be really precious.
No, I
So for you to go and do that,
as long as you give from here.
yeah,
Now today they're using computers for everything.
yeah. It's not. Yeah, I know.
No, the patient comes first.
I know. Yeah, I've had the experience. I work in healthcare, and I've had the experience of working in Africa for quite a few years. And compared to here, like, yeah, there's different challenges, but yeah, the work is very different. Like the work is a lot less human here than it would be in places like Africa, I suppose. And I mean, yeah, it's very different. But yeah, there's a lot more humanity and humanness
Less systematic
to the job.
and more of the heart.
Less tick box and less paperwork and less mechanical.
Oh well,
Yeah.
there's an awful lot of paperwork.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. And all it is like, it's just like, you're just covering your ass,
Yeah.
basically.
There's no love in paperwork.
The Americans work really hard, though, don't they?
Oh, they do.
Really
They do.
hard.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. You have,
Especially New York specifically. Them,
you
they're
have
bred
Norbert
for-
Hennessy now,
Yeah.
and
Who is Norbert Hennessy?
Norbert Hennessy's. Oh Jesus, where's he from now? He owned a pub in Broadway opposite. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's from. Oh Jesus, Mary.
It'll come to you.
Yeah.
I'm just noticing you're on the front page there of the Irish Voice with Brendan Gleeson, who also is Thurles roots
Yeah.
as well. They're one of the Gleasons of Hall Street.
Yes.
Yeah, Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, I didn't even see the photo.
See, two Thurles legends sharing the front page. 'Cause You're the more
It's up on-
prominent one, you see. And you know
wow.
that Brendan Gleason's ancestors built this house.
What?
This is mad. Yeah, this is a mad
Yeah, so
story.
we've all.
Yeah.
That's so weird. And now that's
Now
weird.
you're sharing the front page.
We've
with him.
talked about him before a few
Yeah.
times now in the
And
podcast.
His dad came
That's
from Thurles.
gas.
Dermot Morgan's father came from Thurles
Yes,
as well.
he did. Yeah.
So Pat Short is from Thurles. You see,
Oh,
they're
my
all
God.
coming from Thurles.
Hugh is from Thurles,
And do you know
famous
who else is-
podcaster.
Do you know who else is from Thurles? Therese Crowe.
Yeah,
Teresa, you were there through 9/11.
I was going to ask about
Then,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you now.
that's good.
Like I told you, I didn't miss the All Irelands. Never missed it.
Yes.
Right.
And I had a patient down right beside
Mm.
where it happened.
Yeah.
His name was Mr. And I was taking care of him, and I would have been there when that went off. I was at home here for the All Ireland,
Wow.
9/11.
Yeah.
Wow. That's mad.
That's insane. How long were you back for that time? Like, were you only back in Ireland for a couple of weeks?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I came every year.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you were just back.
but at that
was your
time-
yearly
Yeah,
trip.
but well, I just came home. Like I said, I never missed an All Ireland.
Wow.
That's mad. Jesus.
Oh my God! And then you went straight back there, kind
I
of.
did,
after the All
yeah.
Ireland.
And
What was the experience? What was your experience of like the feeling when you went back? Would it have been all
it
different
was
than when
very,
you left?
very frightening.
Yeah. I'd imagine.
You know, it was just unbelievable. Everybody was afraid of everything. We were all afraid.
Yeah. Even you got a plane, so not that long after. Was that
Yeah.
frightening for you?
Sorry?
So not that long after you got a plane.
I was back down working with Mr. Barack.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
So was that frightening getting on the plane even at the time?
Yes, at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you march in the parade every year, St. Patrick's Day parade?
Oh, yes.
Did you?
Mhm. And I was an aide to the Grand Marshal.
Were you?
I was,
oh, that's
yeah.
so cool.
What's that? Sorry, just
Grand
The St.
Marshal.
Patrick's Day Parade.
so the yeah, what is it?
Person that leads the parade.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Wow, in the New York parade.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was an aide out in Brooklyn or Queens. Now I can't remember.
Have you seen them? Is it the Order of Hibernians or something? The green
Oh, they
sash?
are, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I had a cousin of my father's. He got to march in it with them one
Oh
time.
God,
yeah.
we never missed the mass. Yeah.
Where were you living after you lived in the Bronx, Teresa? Like,
Yeah, I moved up out of I went to Leonia, New Jersey,
Oh, lovely.
Oh, did
where
you?
you can't get sick, you can't dine, you can't get drunk. There's no funeral homes, no cemeteries, no hospitals, and no pubs.
Why'd you go there? Why'd you move there?
I bought a house there.
Okay.
That's funny.
And that's where you lived until you left just now? Okay.
So I went in every Sunday, and like I said, Wednesdays and Fridays.
Wow.
And when did you finish working in the hospitals there?
Oh God, I'm only gone out of it about, what are we in now, about
2021. Oh, yeah, 3 years.
That's it.
What stopped you though from coming back sooner? Did you just like the quality of life there, or like what was it?
where to come home.
Yeah, like most Irish people don't stay away that long.
Yeah. Get homesick easy.
Fonzie Farrell,
Fonzie Farrell. There he is.
yes. Lord of mercy, he died on June the 28th, 1920.
Oh. There's a picture of Fonzie. He was from Thurles, wasn't
He was from Thurles.
Yeah.
He played with Rahalty and he played with the Prairie.
Wow.
He was a
That's
very
mad.
good hurler. And he was in England and he played with, jeez, I know what that name.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In Hurling again. London. In London, yeah.
Were you in New York for the time? I could be getting the time wrong. I'm not that good at history, but do you know all the like mad rubbish strikes and stuff went on in New York? Was that around the time you were there? Or was that even before?
What do you mean rubbish?
So
Like
there
the
was
garbage strikes,
garbage
when they were just
strikes that
leaving
went
the
on.
garbage in the
All the
streets.
rubbish
Isn't that in the
guys,
70s?
and New York was in the 70s, I think so. Yeah.
They didn't want to. They didn't want to take the rubbish.
Yeah. So were you there at that time?
Yes, I was.
What was that? And did you see the streets full of rubbish
Oh,
and stuff?
it was unbelievable.
Yeah. What? And was it even in your area and stuff like that?
Well, it wasn't too bad out in New Jersey. It was mainly in New York.
Yeah. God, I'd say that was an experience. Like
Yeah, no,
going
it was
in.
frightening actually.
Yeah.
The rats. I remember seeing videos of it, like with the rats, like
Well, I was at a meeting one night in Gaelic Park, and there was to get the Gaelic Park back into. He was the wire from Mayo,
Yeah.
and he was after being the mayor of New York, and he had the meeting, and there was a lawyer there, and the next thing was they started arguing over who to vote for and who to vote for, and the next thing was the kitchen was over there, and I'm looking out, and next thing was I said, "Would you look what's coming out of the kitchen?" It was a rat bigger than both our heads put together.
Wow.
That's mad.
There's a rat in the kitchen. What am I going to do?
In this case, yeah.
Wait a minute. So the next thing he said, "Will you cop yourself on? You have more rats sitting around you than they had the one coming out the other side."
That's funny.
That's very good.
That is
were
funny.
there other things like from like your time there that sort of stick in your mind, kind of like everyday stuff? Because it is a mad experience. Like
New York is
a
the capital of chaos.
It is a rapidly changing
That's what I
city,
thought.
like particularly in the past kind of 50 years. And
Well, the thing about it is I took a brown bag on the field, paper bag, and I sprayed the hurlers. And they got up when they fell. They weren't cut. We couldn't use it if they were cut.
right.
And guess what it was?
Poteen, was it? No.
Sorry?
Was it Poteen? No.
Oh, poteen, yes.
No way.
Poteen.
Wow.
Yes.
That's mad.
Whoa.
That'd get you up.
No, wait, not alone that.
What?
WD-40.
Wow. Whoa. Mixed in with it.
Yeah.
What? That's
It was your own
mad.
special mixture.
What?
Let me tell you,
Wow.
if you spray WD-40 on somebody that has arthritis or somebody that pulled ligament or whatever,
Yeah.
it doesn't burn you,
Yeah.
it doesn't hit you. And I was at the match last Sunday with Lockmore and the Sarsfields. And one of the players turned out and they saw me coming down the stairs and they said,
Yeah.
"Do you have any WD-40?
That's funny.
Hey, is
They're known for
WD-40 is made of fish oil, I think, is it, or something? like that?
Yes, but the thing about it is you must remember your knee bone is connected to your shin bone. Your shin bone is connected to, all over. What is on the side of a door?
The hinge. yeah.
Hinges. So we're all hinged up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play.
That's mad.
So it genuinely works. It's not like placebo or anything like that. Like it.
Sorry?
It's not like a placebo effect or anything
No,
like
I
that.
told you I put it in a brown bag.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
That's really cool. That's mad.
WD-40 and gaffer tape sorts out all problems, doesn't it? If it's stuck, spray it with WD-40.
And poutine.
Yeah, and
Well,
poutine.
poutine.
poutine is brilliant.
That would get
What's it?
anyone up.
Bit of warm.
Anyone, even the
Yeah,
laziest of people.
the thing about it is that you could mix it with an anti-inflammatory,
Yes.
and you'd rub it on. You know the history of whoever you're putting it on. You wouldn't put
Yeah.
anything on like that, or
yeah.
But you could put the poutine on by itself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is brilliant for arthritis.
They used to rub poutine on greyhounds, didn't they, really?
Oh, they did, yes.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't
Yeah,
allowed to do that.
Oh, that's were they not? Okay, all right.
Well, you're after
Oh, they
getting them in
did.
trouble.
No, they didn't. There's only a story going round.
A rumour.
Because it's really
Local
anti-inflammatory because of the concentration
Yes,
of the
it's brilliant,
alcohol.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I never drank it, thank you very much.
Really, yeah.
No,
yeah, I
Yeah.
think you'd be very wise.
but a
not
lot of
to.
people did.
Yeah, I bet you
yeah.
had great sing-songs and stuff in Gaelic
Oh,
Park.
brilliant.
With what kind of songs? Dubliner songs or what?
We'd have all the Irish songs. We had everything you
Yeah.
wanted.
And would you have like any of the Irish bands going out there to play?
Oh
there?
my God,
Oh,
yes.
gee. Who would you have? Do you remember?
We had,
The Furies or any of that crack? Or
yes.
Had you?
Oh, we had,
The Wolf Tones.
and we had, what's his name?
Finbar or something.
No, mention a couple of names. There was
Finbar, Fury, Christy Moore.
Water Boys.
The Saw Doctors. Who else? Would
No,
be?
come on.
Clancy's. Liam Clancy, no?
No.
Tommy Makem.
What's the name? Oh my
Elvis
God, I can't
Dick
think of
Campbell,
it.
he was a comic as well.
Oh, tall fella. Who was
Ah,
it?
Jesus.
I bet.
You'd write it to me and I could have written all that
Who
down.
was it? Dermot Morgan, was it? No.
No,
No, tall fella.
he had Art Supple.
He had what?
Art Supple.
Oh,
He was from Cork.
Planksty, were they? Planksty, what town?
yeah.
Frankie who?
Planksty.
Planksty. That was
Planksty, the
Christy
band.
Moore's band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were there, were they? Yeah,
Yeah.
Planksty, that's that. Yeah.
Oh, they brought everybody and anybody out.
Would it be right nights out, I'd say, wasn't
Yeah,
But there
that's
was
cool.
one, oh God.
it? Was it? You would have had right crack, like, I'd say.
No, but I'm telling you, there was one. Jesus, I should remember.
It'll come to you as we talk.
Yeah, it might. Well, the thing about it was that there was a man from Mayo,
yeah.
and I was giving him vitamin B12 shots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the next thing was there was this singer and a comedian. Jeez, I can see him now and
Brendan
again.
Grace, no. No.
Yes.
Hey,
No way.
I could
Oh,
pick
wow.
that up off you.
You got that.
I got that kind of.
He's telepathic.
When you said
Oh,
you could see him, you looked at him and I could see him as well.
You can see the Brendan Grace in your eyes.
Anyway,
That's-
next thing was Tom turned around and asked me. He said, "Can you get an antibiotic?"
Yeah.
So I said, I'll check it and see, but I'd have to know what I'm doing. I said, let me tell you. So I called up the doctor and I told him, and I got vitamins and an antibiotic.
Yeah.
But he wanted the vitamin B12,
Yeah.
and I got the antibiotic for him. He came out. It's called the Archway. It was on Broadway.
Wow.
In the Bronx. Everybody and their mother went there. Now they have a place called Katie's Cottage.
Okay.
And out comes Brendan. "You'll have to excuse me," he said. "I have a pain in my
Yeah.
arse."
Did he say that to both Brendan?
You won't believe this now, and he went on. And he was standing right in front of me. It was, when I went to see Tom, I said, "Don't ever ask me to do anything for you again," because everybody was looking at me.
Yeah.
But there was an awful lot of things that,
That's funny.
we did for each other. It was brilliant.
And
You
was
know.
there much integration with the Americans? Because I know the Irish community there is really strong.
Sorry?
Was there much integration with the Americans?
Oh, yes.
There is, yeah. Because
yeah.
it's, to me, like your accent is still really, really Irish. I was
Yeah.
You can't get
expecting-
rid of a flat Tipperary
Yeah,
Irish
fact.
accent.
That's a fact.
There's not even a hint of American
Yeah, that's
accent.
funny. I didn't even
I
think of
beg
that.
your pardon. I wanted a fillet of sole.
Okay.
Okay. I went to all the stores here, except the fish shop,
Yeah.
and I said, "Do you have a fillet of sole?" No.
Wow.
Every one of them told me no. And my brother said to me, Tess, it's a fillet, it's not a fillet. Patrick told me that.
See, that's normal because in English, I'm English, and we would say fillet as well.
Oh, well,
That's right.
you know, you go down and, like I said, I always ate bread that was no fat, no cholesterol in it.
Yeah.
And I drink decaffeinated tea. So this is the whole thing, that they're all looking at me, you know, as if I came out of the...
Yeah.
But the way my brother came to me, he said, Tess, it's a fillet.
So that's funny. Yeah, you've adopted more like the kind of vocabulary and the sort of
I do.
lifestyle bit
I
of
say a
it.
garage instead of garage.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know, so...
Yeah. That's mad.
I taught English in South Korea for just over a year, and it was American English. And when I came back, like there was no other English people that I spoke to in the whole year. And when I came back, because I'd been teaching American English, I was saying trash can and sidewalk,
Oh, wow.
and battery instead of battery, and military instead of military. And like my family thought it was hilarious. They were like, "Who do you think you are?" Saying these things like, "What's up with you?"
Well, now we have right now in our club, well, like I said, Pat Costigan, Liam Gleeson, all the lads were brilliant, Jim Kane. Now we have Mike Hendy, who's from Toomevara, and he has 3 sons. And Manhattan College was attached to Gaelic Park, and he won a soccer. At Manhattan College, he won to go to university.
Scholarship. It's a scholarship, yeah.
Yeah, walked to go to university. He won that. Now that's thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Then he has Garode, and he's the player of the year this year with Prairie.
Wow.
And he has Owen. And Owen turned around and told his mother that he plays, in school they had to play baseball, basketball, football. They had to play all the, the things. But he plays Irish football and he plays Gaelic hurling.
Wow.
And he said to his mother that I'm going to specialise in soccer because the Irish don't give any colleges.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is it mostly like the teams that play at Gaelic Park? Like, who are they made up of? Is it like the children of migrants, or like what? Like, how does it work?
well, we help everybody. We have a thing on McLean Avenue in the Bronx.
Yeah.
It's called the Ashling Centre.
Yeah.
And you can go in there and get all the help you wanted as an immigrant, and it doesn't matter where you come from. I was a guest of honour there, and you couldn't believe the support we got. And this is what we do, you know what I mean?
And that's still to this day.
Yeah.
This is right in the middle of the Bronx.
Wow.
Well, it's up more or less onto Yonkers. But then you have Mike Hendy, you have Pa Ryan, and you have Noel Blanchfield. You have all the lads there that are doing, and you have Brendan Marr, he owns McKeown's Bar. They have partners in McKeown's Bar in McLean Avenue as well. So everybody, and then you have PJ Clark's, which was like a regular pub, and he's from Leitrim.
So they help sort people out with jobs and find accommodation.
Oh yeah,
and education.
we'll put you up. I put everybody up. I put Jim Doyle. So many players.
Yeah.
But it's everybody helps everybody out there. We'll get you a job, and we'll get you work.
Wow.
That's
really
what
cool.
we've been doing all the years.
They've been sending
Every county does it.
They've been
Oh,
sending
that's
teams out to New York since the 1880s.
Yeah.
My great granduncle went out there in 1880 something, I don't know, before the formation of the GA. Just it was called the American Invasion or whatever that team.
Yeah.
K.D. Ryan went out
Yeah.
there in 1881
That's mad.
or something like that. Yeah, before they actually formed the GA. Isn't that
That's
mad?
cool. Yeah, that is mad.
And they're all wearing these knitted jumpers with GA written across it. You've
Yeah.
seen that picture, haven't you? Yeah.
Do you play any sports yourself?
Sorry.
Do you ever play any sports yourself? Any camogie or anything?
I played camogie.
Yeah. How did you get over there? Was there camogie over there? No. Okay. Yeah.
That's so weird. So there's hurling over there and Gaelic, but they don't play camogie.
No, well, I'll tell you right now, You asked me about playing camogie. I played camogie and Kitty Dillonty hit me with the hurley and I never played it.
Kitty, what did you do that for? I have a picture of Therese's brother Ephraim boxing in the boxing club with my uncle Huey, and they're all school kids.
No, that's mine.
They're boxing.
I must put that in. I have that, I think.
I have it as well. Yeah, I must
stick it in.
I gave it to Patrick, your brother, before. I gave a copy of it to Patrick.
Oh, well, then I have it.
Yeah. But they were in the confraternity hall, all ready for boxing.
That's brilliant.
And the other one then was my cousin Mary was getting married over in Brighton, and she just real casual, like she didn't bother getting an appointment to get.
Why Brighton?
Because she's living in London or whatever, and she just decided to get married in Brighton. So we were all over there in Brighton, and she decided to just get her hair done for a wedding. She put nothing, just walked into a hairdressing salon and said, "I'm getting married today. Can you do my hair?" And this woman girl started doing her hair and said, "Yeah, you're right. Know what? I'll do it for you." And she says, "Right, and where are you from?" She said, "I'm from Thurles." And she said, "Oh, my family are from Thurles. Have you heard of the Crows? My dad is Ephraim Crowe from Thurles, which is Therese's brother."
Wow,
how coincidence! How small a world is that?
That is a small world.
Yeah. So there you go.
Teresa, how do you think your life would have been different? Like if you hadn't stayed in New York, if you'd just gone over to see your friend and come back, what would have been so different?
Big Borough of Steel, I'd be a nurse someplace.
Somewhere here, yeah.
So that was your vocation anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that life was generally better? Because, you know, there's some hard times in Ireland kind of over the decades that you were in New York.
I'll be very honest with you. It's a great life if you don't weaken. And you keep doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, you know, but nursing to me is, I get relief actually, you know, when I go in and somebody gets well. I was with a Dr. Gillern, a gastroenterologist, and come on, Crow. The doctor, ileostomy. Oh, come on. Dr. Crohn's disease.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, he was 96.
Yeah.
And I was working in Mount Sinai Hospital with him. And when he came out, you had young men, young girls getting the cancer.
Okay.
And what they did, they removed the whole small bowel, ileostomy was gone, and you had a bag, and you were only maybe 16, 17 or 18.
Wow.
Tough, isn't it?
And there was an awful lot of suicides.
Yeah.
Dr. Crowe came in, and like they said, he turned around and he said, "That's not cancerous. You just removed that much that's in there, and that's how good it is."
That was Dr. Crohn, the Crohn's disease is called after, no?
That's why it's called after him.
Wow, I didn't know that. I have colitis, ulcerative colitis, which is kind of similar to Crohn's.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so, wow, that's amazing. You worked with that guy?
I worked with him in Mount Sinai Hospital.
Mount Sinai is an
That's
amazing
mad.
place. Like there's so much history and so many kind of medical advances and discoveries have come from Mount Sinai.
Yeah.
So you must have been at the forefront of all these things.
Yeah,
when you saw-
I'm 87 now, not 27.
But the other thing is that you must get a buzz that you're good at something as well. You know, there's great satisfaction in being good at stuff.
Oh, Lord. You'll find this I have no smell.
Have you not?
No,
No way.
since I was a child.
Wow.
You need that in medicine. It's good to have no smell,
I'm quite well aware of it.
especially when you're working changing dressings and stuff like that.
So you'd be
That was a bit of an advantage.
Anyway.
That helped.
I'd
you
go into
stay
the
there.
I'd go into the patients and I'd treat them and
Yeah.
nothing. And I'm very sorry that I have an odour like this. The patient would say, "Oh," I said, don't worry about it. You're all right. I have no problem doing it. Believe me, I'll help you." I'd come outside the door. The nurse said, "Crow, you're something else."
Oh my God.
Did you ever tell them? You
No
know
smell.
that?
It's all good, isn't it?
Yeah. Joe, will we finish up now? Because after that was a lovely conversation.
That was brilliant.
Is there any, just last few minutes, there's a lot, sort of, America seems a bit more hectic now. Or is there a kind of bit of relief being back in Ireland right now? Like,
Oh yes,
a bit, yeah.
I'm at home.
It's a bit more
Yeah.
calm and stuff here, yeah.
And Patrick
That's really
is
good.
your brother is
Patrick is here, and I have Philomena out in the horse and jockey.
Eleanor.
Philomena Lamphere.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
Philomena, yeah.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Oh.
And all our kids are 2 or 3 of them are working above in the
Yeah.
hospital, the Assumption.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, the thing about it is I keep saying the county home because that's all I knew was the county home,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's beautiful, and the care they get up there is brilliant.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. It is fabulous up there, isn't
It has
Yeah.
one of the best names in Ireland.
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a fabulous
that's
place,
really cool.
Fabulous facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, we'll finish up anyway. We really appreciate
Thank
you
you
coming
very
on. It
much
was a
for
good
doing it. It was so
Yeah,
cool.
thank you.
conversation.
We really
And
liked it.
we're going to show, we'll get that up and we'll take pictures of
Yeah,
that if it's
that's-
okay as
yeah,
well.
that's-
Or can you zoom in on that even now?
A legend.
And then there we
Irish
have
boys.
Brendan Grace and Teresa.
Exactly, yeah. Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, I said Brendan. Well, why is it? Is it Brendan,
Brendan
Gleeson?
Gleeson,
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Small.
I have
Brendan
actually
Gleeson.
always,
Small.
my whole life, I've always got them confused. Wait, what do you mean small?
Like there's a tiny picture of him
Yeah,
and a
small
massive picture
of Teresa.
I know, yeah.
Well, we know who
Not
the
the
legend
same
is. We know
page.
who the legend
Yeah,
is in that
Be like,
picture, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that great?
Who's
Wow.
bigger?
It's nice. That really.
That is a really cool
But
picture.
that's so nice to
Keep
see,
that.
like all the
Well,
healthcare
thanks.
work that
Can we,
you
yeah?
have done, and
Yeah.
all of the healthcare work that you have done, and all of the lives that you have helped and saved. That is right to me that you
I
take the
always
bigger
say that,
slot on
actually.
there, and like the actors and people like that take the smaller.
I actually think that's how it should
Me
be,
too.
yeah.
I think that's as it should.
Like I always said, like, you know, there's so many magazines for celebrities and stuff, and it's cool. They do good jobs at acting, but like the people who should be on the front page of magazines are people like yourself, nurses and doctors, and you know, people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
And I'm
you
sure
were-
Brendan
you
wouldn't
were
mind
wearing the
that, like-
sash for the St Patrick's Day parade.
Yeah.
You're the aide to the.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
so
really cool.
Did you
Tom
have-
Ryan here in Thurles. Tom Ryan here in Thurles.
Okay. Yeah.
He has just written a book now.
I was out in his
Okay.
house last night and bought the book. It's very good.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah.
He was doing the.
There's a picture of my dad inside in it with the coffins
Yes,
and all that. yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, it's so
That's
cool.
really
And
cool.
I'm in it as well.
You are.
Okay. Wow.
All the legends are in
Check
it.
it out.
Teresa, were you carrying your WD-40 in a brown paper bag in that picture?
Yeah,
That's what I
ready.
want to know.
No, I didn't have it that day.
No Pachin either.
Sorry.
No Pachin either.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a million for
Thank
coming
you so
on, and
much.
thanks a million for everyone for watching on YouTube, or if you want to listen to the audio only version on Spotify while you drive your car or sit on the Lewis. Or stand on the Lewis. Most people have to stand on the Lewis. Whatever, walking, exercising, all those things. Yeah, thanks for listening and thanks for watching, and we really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah.